Here are the top 8 stories you need to know about in the San Francisco Bay Area. San Francisco just ranked number 2 for the best climate in the entire United States. And while the weather is perfect, listen to this. An $85 million estate just sold in Woodside, setting a new record. Union Square's iconic Macy's is getting completely reimagined. The Presidio is planning nearly 200 new apartments inside a national park. Downtown San Jose just approved a 15-story affordable housing tower. And California voters just passed Prop 50 that could reshape the state's voting maps. From record luxury sales to affordable housing wins, from climate rankings to political changes, the Bay Area just had one of the biggest weeks in 2025. Let's dive in. Let's start with something that everyone who lives there already knows about, and it's official. San Francisco just ranked number 2 for having the most ideal climate in the entire United States, according to Camelot Climate Index. The index was developed by longtime Bay Area meteorologist Jan Knoll, so this isn't some random ranking. San Francisco scored 87 out of 100 points, which is incredibly high. One of the main reasons for the high ranking is San Francisco's weather patterns. Warm and dry summers, mild and wet winters, nothing you don't know about already if you live here. It's genuinely perfect if you think about it. You don't get the extreme heat of the Central Valley or SoCal, and you don't get freezing winters like the East Coast. Guess which city took number 1? San Diego took the number 1 spot, which kind of makes sense. Do you agree or disagree? And Sacramento came in 4th. So the Bay Area absolutely dominated the top rankings. And at the very bottom, 2 cities in Alaska. I don't think that's a surprise. What's interesting is how this ranking matters for real estate. Climate is becoming a huge factor in where people choose to live, especially with extreme weather events increasing around the country, whether it's really hot or really cold. San Francisco's mild, predictable climate is a genuine selling point that adds value to properties here because people really love living here. Would you agree or disagree? The challenge is affordability. Sure, the climate is perfect, but can you actually live here and enjoy it without worrying about your wallets? Do you think San Francisco's climate ranking will attract more people to the Bay Area, or do you disagree with also how they ranked San Diego above the Bay Area? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, speaking of Bay Area real estate, a new record has just been set. Green Gables in Woodside, a 74-acre estate just sold for $85 million. That's the highest Bay Area home sale of 2025. This property is absolutely stunning if you look at these photos. 7 homes on an estate, sweeping gardens, a Roman-style pool. The century-old property has long symbolized Silicon Valley's quiet, old money. This isn't flashy tech money of modern buildings and estates. This is established generational wealth. Supporters say the sale proves global confidence in the Bay Area's prestige real estate market. Even as tech stocks fluctuate and there's more layoffs locally, and there's uncertainty in the economy. When someone drops $85 million on a single property, that's absolutely a massive vote of confidence. Critics say it highlights the absolutely widening divide between the region's ultra-rich and everyone else who's struggling to afford a basic home or apartment. While one family buys an $85 million estate, teachers and firefighters and our essential workers can't afford rents in the communities they serve. Does this kind of sale signal economic strength to you, or does it represent inequality that's gotten completely out of control? I'm genuinely curious about how you think about record sales like this. Is it positive? Is it negative? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now moving to downtown San Francisco's most iconic department store, it's about to get completely reimagined. Macy's has partnered with TMG Partners to transform its 650,000 square foot flagship at Union Square into a mix of housing, hospitality, and creative office space. This is massive. We're talking about one of the most recognizable buildings in downtown San Francisco getting a complete overhaul. This isn't just some renovation. I'm sure you have fond memories of visiting Macy's and Union Square. This is a fundamental reimagining of what the space could actually be. Supporters say this could genuinely jumpstart downtown's recovery and finally bring people back to the city's core. Having housing in Union Square could create 24/7 activity instead of just daytime retail. Hotels and creative spaces could draw visitors and workers back to downtown. Critics, however, do argue that this is without addressing safety concerns, improving the retail mix, and making transit actually better. A single redevelopment alone won't restore Union Square's energy. You need a comprehensive approach, not just one building transformation, but it is a start, right? What would actually make you want to spend time downtown and Union Square again? Is it housing? Is it better stores? Is it feeling safer? Is it free parking? Let me know what you would bring back to Union Square so you would visit again. All right, moving on to the Presidio. The Presidio Trust has unveiled the Letterman Residential Project, And this is really interesting. It's a 6-building plan for nearly 200 apartments along Lincoln Boulevard inside the Presidio. Designed by David Baker Architects, the project replaces 2 outdated structures with modern wood-clad residences connected by trails and greenery. So they're not just adding to the park, they're replacing old buildings with new, better-designed housing. Supporters say this is a rare chance to add much-needed housing to one of the city's most beautiful and transit-rich settings. The Presidio has access to Muni, it's got the Presidio shuttle, and it's absolutely gorgeous if you haven't been there recently. Why wouldn't you want to live there? Critics question whether the new construction inside a national park should prioritize affordability or historic integrity first. Should the housing be market rate to generate revenue for the park maintenance, or should it be affordable housing to serve the community? Or maybe a little bit of both? That's a legitimate debate. How would you balance priorities in a place like the Presidio? It's a national park, but it's also desperately needing housing nearby. Comment below your thoughts. Are you curious about where you actually fit in the Bay Area? We've helped hundreds of families compare different neighborhoods and areas, and we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Reach out to us at hello@theownteam.com. All right, moving down to the South Bay. Construction is expected to begin early next year on the Gateway Tower in downtown San Jose. This is a 15-story affordable housing project at 470 South Market Street. Designed by DLR Group and developed by the core companies, the project will preserve historic brick facades while providing units for residents earning 30 to 80% of area median income. So this is genuinely affordable for working families, not just high earners. Supporters say this is the perfect model for combining historic preservation with affordable housing. And it's a major win for downtown San Jose, which desperately needs more residential density to create vibrancy outside of just retail and office spaces. Critics worry, however, about construction delays and funding gaps that could push completion beyond 2028. I know we're already talking 3 years to complete. Affordable housing projects often face financing challenges that stall progress for years or incompletions. What do you think San Jose needs to keep most of its housing pipeline actively moving and on track? Because approving projects is one thing, building them and completing them is completely different. I'm sure you would agree. All right, going to the East Bay, let me shift gears to something fun. The East Bay just served up 2 major restaurant openings that are getting a lot of attention. In Castro Valley, HL Peninsula just launched the nation's largest dim sum restaurant with a space for more than 800 guests. That's absolutely massive. And Berkeley just welcomed Kopi Bar and Bakery in a museum with its beloved avocado coffee and Indonesian comfort food. Supporters say that these openings prove that East Bay dining is thriving again and drawing visitors from across the region. When major restaurants are opening and expanding, it's a sign of economic confidence. Critics, however, note that the restaurant rents and operating costs remain incredibly high, making it tough for smaller independent spots to survive with thin margins. We're seeing big restaurants with capital succeed, but neighborhood cafes and mom-and-pop places are struggling unless there's some sort of reporting. Which one of these would you visit first? The massive 800-person dim sum banquet hall in Castro Valley, or the Museum Cafe in Berkeley? Let me know what is your newest spot if I didn't mention it in these 2 restaurants in the comments below. All right, moving back to the city. In San Francisco's Laurel Heights neighborhood, the Schools of the Sacred Heart are planning a 65,000 square foot athletic and wellness center. This will have a glass-walled pool, full gym, and rooftop soccer field. The design by TEF and Groundworks office replaces the old family billiards hall with a light-filled hub for students and potentially the neighborhood. This is a significant investment in youth athletics and wellness. Supporters say it will provide world-class facilities for students and could become a local landmark for wellness and community activities, potentially open to neighbors beyond just the school. Critics question whether private school expansions should receive more neighborhood oversight and community input. Should private institutions be able to build large facilities without the same scrutiny as public projects? Do projects like this add value beyond their campus boundaries to the broader neighborhood? Or are they just serving wealthy private school families and kids? Share your thoughts in the comments below. All right, last topic, and this is a hot one. California voters just approved Prop 50, and this could reshape state politics. The measure allows California to use legislatively drawn congressional maps starting in 2026 until new lines are created after the 2030 census. Supporters say this protects fair representation and gives California flexibility as other states redraw their maps mid-decade for political advantage. It's about maintaining California's voice in Congress. Critics call this a partisan move that weakens the state's independent redistricting commission. reshape, which was created specifically to take politics out of the map drawing. They worry this opens the door for gerrymandering. How do you think California should balance political independence with adaptability in its voting maps? Should we stick to independent commissions no matter what, or respond to what other states are doing right now? I'm sure you have thoughts on this. Share them in the comments below. From San Francisco's perfect climate ranking to an $85 million Woodside record, from Union Square's massive redevelopment to 200 new homes inside the Presidio, and from downtown San Jose's affordable tower to California's voting map changes, the Bay Area real estate landscape is shifting incredibly fast. Climate rankings matter for property values. Record sales show confidence at the luxury end. Major redevelopment reshapes entire neighborhoods. Affordable housing wins create opportunities. And political changes affect everything from zoning to transportation and funding. I'm Leung. Email us if you have any questions about the housing market or living in the Bay Area at hello@theownteam.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we release weekly videos to keep you up to date on the Bay Area and San Francisco. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, and thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.